Hey everybody, it is ElCid932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. I am here for Alone episode 7. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with all the exciting things we're doing. So let's start off with episode 7, please. Let's just get to it. Episode 7 starts with our usual quote: "The universe will reward you for taking risks on its behalf," by Shakti Gawain. Hope I said that correctly. It is day 17, 2:43 a.m. 4 people remaining. Now, y'all, day 17, just over 2 weeks and only 4 people remaining. That may be an alone record. Put it in the comments if you certainly agree with me. The current temperature is 30 degrees Fahrenheit and -1 degrees Celsius. We start with Baha. He is restoring his fire. He said it's hard to keep it going. Now remember, he has no ferro rod as his 10 items for this, and he is feeling the burn of that, pun intended, that, he has to restock his fire and keep it going constantly because he doesn't have a simple ferro rod to relight it. He said he has to get up about 6 to 7 times a night. So I'm like, Baha, you sleep deprived, aren't you? You just a little bit sleep deprived. He said the nights are less bearable. He said he wants to hunt and go get an animal. But then he breathes, y'all, and we see the frost smoke as he's breathing. So you know how cold it is. It is 7:21 a.m. and the current temperature is 41 degrees Fahrenheit and 5 degrees Celsius. He's going to explore for an animal. And we're told that Baha has lost about 16 pounds since day 1. It's 17 days, 16 pounds. Wow, a pound a day. He is frustrated, but will continue to try. Not think of this as a challenge, but more something he needs to adapt to. He said, he has to live his way through it. And he said the dry river is a highway, so he will follow it. And y'all, he finds tracks. And he asked, may the universe provide. And then he finds a warthog tunnel, several tunnels. We're told that warthogs can occupy as many as 10 separate burrows while traveling in a home range, but they are elusive creatures. Now, Baha had me chuckling because he said, little pig, let me come in. And I was like, yes, Baha, thank you for that. So he asked, are the dens connected? He does not know. And he wants to hunt them, but he has to head back to camp because his fire might be going down. And y'all, he is 2 miles from camp, we're told. Baha. I know everybody's thinking they ain't never going to without a ferro rod again because of this. He said he needs to find a way to transport the fire from 2 miles away at camp over here to where the warthog dens are without it going out. Now, y'all know I continue on with the same person throughout, so you will definitely, see all the way through with one person. So it's day 18 for Baha, and it's 8:42 a.m. Said he has nothing to cook, so he's going to the dens to try and smoke it out. We're told that early humanoids used fire and smoke to assist in hunting since the Paleolithic age. And y'all, we have to get to the definition. This Paleolithic period they're talking about is approximately 3.3 million years ago, around, to 12,000 years ago, when early humans, developed the use of basic stone tools and artifacts, man-made objects. So that's the Paleolithic age, where they used to use fire and smoke to smoke out animals out of their burrows as a form of hunting. So he's stripping off his layers in order to prepare to make this trek, and he has to get the fire to the den locations 2 miles away. He will gather dry grasses and coal to the location. And y'all, he's using poop patties as his coal. And I was like, ooh, they dried out. And I would have liked to have seen more of him light it up and make it into a coal. But, we do see, and I will have pictures of him carrying the coal because he made a little carrier for the coal to sit in so he can carry it. It can keep the heat and not burn him. He said he's losing calories and energy doing this hunt. But, even though ambush is better, it is not an option for him. And y'all remember this, he's walking 2 miles, and I keep saying 2 miles, 2 miles, 2 miles. He doesn't have a canteen in his list. He does not have a canteen to be taking water constantly for this hike and trek. So I'm like, you are really expended energy and you are getting dehydrated, Baha. He is concerned he will not last long in the competition. And he arrives, he said he needs to make the fire fast. He said he feels connected to his sister most when he is in need. She is one of his guardian angels. And he feels her there with him and guiding him. He trusts the universe to do what's good for him. Now we're told that warthogs enter their burrows in reverse. So when they come out, their tusks are at the front and can defend against intruding predators. Y'all, he puts the fire in one den, and then at 1:24 p.m., there's no activity. Now, we do see like a timeline of he's been there a while. So he goes to the next den and waits. 2:46 p.m., no activity. He's starting to feel defeated and negative, and he's heading home. All this day, he done did all this and nothing at all. So day 19, we're told 6:19 a.m. He said the nights are tough. Not sleeping has him thinking and doing nothing. I'm like, you could do something, Baha. You could do something as simple as carving out a spoon. You could do some different things. And I've seen in other alone seasons where people find different things, even if it's creating dice to kind of play something to occupy their mind. I'm not sure, Baha, what you meant by nothing to do. He's getting, he thinks about all the things he has to do back home, like getting wood for winter. He said his wife can handle it, but he's beginning to feel the negative impact on his thoughts. He said his wife and his family needs him, and he's waiting for the sun to come out after each night. He does ask the universe, what are you trying to tell me? He said, when life is hard, it means you're going against the slope. And I had to be like, Baha, really? Or is it that when life is hard, this is the point in which a lesson is coming forth? So y'all let me know in the comments, what do you think? Is it truly you're going against what you're supposed to be doing? Or is this a lesson that life is trying to teach you just in a hard way? He said perhaps his purpose is not to win, but to learn. He is not invincible, and he does accept his fate and failures. He said the universe doesn't care about money. And he says, thank you, South Africa, for teaching him. He has to be there for his family and not for the money. He makes the call to tap out, and the crew comes. And of course, I have pictures for you of him making the call, and then the crew comes, and it is beautiful. He has to be picked up by boat. Absolutely beautiful landscape. He said the nights were hard, and he has to get up 7 times to stock up the fire. He said not winning is a situation, but it's okay. Money is not what he needs. He said they had nothing back home in his home country, and they started from zero. And, they did it over again when they had to move with their second daughter to Canada. He said winning would have been a huge help, but he just can't. He thinks it's because any other time he was not alone. He had his family. South Africa will have a place in his heart because it felt he was connecting deeper to family. Had him connect with family and examine himself and the values he has towards family. Not just that they need him, but he needs them. Oh, that was wonderful. I felt that, Baha. He said, recognizing this, he does not need to be here anymore. It fills up a hole in him because he has not been feeling whole because of his past. No, Baha, you are a poet. This is not it. This is just a small chapter, he says. He says, not every chapter has to be happy, and not every battle has to be won in the war. Sometimes you lose the battle to win the war. And y'all, he heads home on the boat. Now I'm going to give you the ride back because he did tap out. And usually this is at the end of the episode, but I want to give you this entirety. So on the ride back, it is day 19. He wants to see the importance of not winning, and it may be, healthier for him than winning. He said to tap out is to step over his ego and pride, learning that there are unforeseen circumstances no matter the plan. This has taught him the value of letting himself feel small, and he can be weak, and it's okay. He learned that it's his family that he needs. Perhaps he already has that happiness, he says, that he's always wanted in his family. At the home base, the doctor does notice that his pants had a cut in it like from the saw. And they're like, when have you looked at it? When was the last time? He's like, I ain't looked at it today. But we see it's just a scratch. And the doctor says, hey, you sound good. You look good. Welcome back. Baha does tell us that leaving is more humble and not very sure of himself is the healthy thing and better when he makes mistakes. So basically he's saying even with all these stumbles and, he's leaving there healthy. And even though he's not sure about, I guess, his decision to leave, hey, he is learning from every bit of this process. And I enjoyed watching you, Baha. You certainly taught me and you taught us a lot. Next up, day 17. 11:44 a.m. Katie. Remember, I was hollering, where is Katie? Where is Katie? Where is Katie? Here's Katie. She's making a drop trap for a mouse. And she sees waterbuck companions every morning. And she's working on her shelter today with mud. We're told that mud has high thermal mass and helps regulate temperature by absorbing and releasing heat. She is hungry and didn't think it would be this hard getting meat. And she has to decide between fishing and hunting. She's using her raincoat, y'all. She piled up the mud, and she's using her raincoat to carry it back. She tells us about her past, that at 22, she woke up spiritually. She left a corporate job and went to America to a tracker school. And the school, we're told, is in remote Pine Barrens, New Jersey. She learned to track, she learned about plants, and she learned about nature and survival skills. At 1:48 p.m., she's still going, y'all. She said she did a lot of thinking of survival and what it means while she's doing this mud. And I will show you exactly what the end product of her shelter is. Day 17, 2:27 p.m. Kelsey. Kelsey found an African fish eagle. Now, that eagle really looks like, our bald eagle here in America. But American fish eagles, we're told, are strong enough to carry fish up to 9.3 pounds or 4.2 kilograms in their talons while flying. That's a lot. 9.3 pounds. That's almost 2 5-pound sacks of flour. That's heavy. Her hunting area is flat, so there's not much energy to use while hunting. And she sees many animals, but she's not able to hunt them because of her bow type. She can only hunt small game. And we're told again that she chose a 50-pound draw weight bow, which means she can only harvest warthogs or similar sized animals. Now, y'all, she's seeing waterbucks and all kinds of larger animals all over her area. So I'm like, Kelsey, girl, you made the wrong choice. She didn't find any warthog, in their area. She said, but she did find one of their dens and it was caved in by the rain. Of course, I have photos for you. And she says, hey, maybe this is where they went. And I was like, did they go to Baja's place? Did they go over to your area? Because when Baja left, y'all, I was like, please don't let us see a warthog running in the field that Baja had just vacated. So the heavy rainfalls, we're told, can cause cave-ins with the soft or weak soil. She's trying to figure out where they went, and she wished she got those warthogs on day 6. Remember, she saw them in the distance and decided, I don't really need them, and they're kind of far away. I don't want to overhunt. I want to just take what I need. So she decided not to hunt them. So now she's wishing she did. She said she wished she could hunt waterbucks. We're told day 20, 8:47 a.m. She decided to sit and conserve energy and hunt geese. A whole goose, listen to me. A whole goose can provide 2,900 calories and 240 grams of protein. We're told that each participant is allowed 9 arrows with their bow. And I wonder if 9 arrows and the 10th thing is a bow, if that's how they calculated it. She's concerned about hunting, them over water because she may lose an arrow. But y'all, there was a goose walking right by her. And she did not notice them. Of course, I have a picture for you. She's getting frustrated and tired and unsuccessful in hunting. And she's thinking of the missed warthog. She says she can't dwell on it. And let's go back at the beach. She said, let's eat some, passion fruit daiquiris. But she said, hey, that's the wrong beach. That beach was Costa Rica. I like her wit. That's one thing I liked about Kelsey is her wit. So 2:24 p.m. She says she can't do it. She got to go for a walk. She can't just sit around or else she will just tap. She's losing it. It is not a good day. She's hungry, and the little bit of jerky she had is not doing anything for her. She said she's never gone a day without eating. She said always had food, whether even if it's just a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, just something, even if it sucked. She is in starvation mode, and y'all, she is crying. Okay, she's having an emotional moment. She said if she could get 60-pound animals, she would be good because y'all, they are all over her area. She says walking is to clear her head, but again, is burning calories that she does not have. She said, but if she doesn't walk, she'll quit. And I'm like, she doesn't even look like she has the bow and arrow with her while she's walking. She sounds like she's just having an emotional moment and just walking. Girl, you don't have the time to do that without your equipment. She said she cannot go 80 days with no food. If she cannot pull her arrow back, she said she's screwed. She said her pants are getting looser, and she is not one of the larger participants. And because she's a smaller participant, she's concerned they may pull her from the competition due to medical reasons. She says she cannot outstarve anyone, and maybe she has to, just let it all out. She cannot phone a friend, but she's not tapping out. So she's walking and letting all these emotions and frustrations out. Current temperature, we're told, is 47 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees Celsius. Now, after the pep talk, she says she'll be okay. She puts on her jacket and she heads out to go hunting. But she sees something moving in the distance. And I was like, oh my gosh, please, it's a warthog. No, it's a giant tortoise. And y'all, she poses with it, and I do have a picture for you. Now, we're told all tortoises are protected by law in South Africa and may not be hunted or captured. So I was like, I was about to say, Kelsey, are we going to be eating that? I wasn't too sure what we're going to do, but they are protected species. So I'm glad to hear that. She said this changed her mood to be happy and positive. She's happy to see these animals in the wild and experience them. She said if they can survive in the wild, she can too. And this moment is giving her the push to keep going. And now she has a smile on her face, and it's the little things that do mean a lot. Next up, we have day 19 at 12:14 p.m. 3 people remaining. Remember, Baja knocked out. So it's Kelsey, Katie, and Nathan. Nathan is picking buffalo thorn fruit. He said the baboons just eat these fruit as part of their main diet. And he's learning from the baboons, and he's getting his calories. We're told 100 grams of the buffalo thorn fruit gives about 240 calories. Y'all know I have a picture of you of the baboons, and I have a picture for you of the fruit. He said it's a calories game. That's what he's doing each day. Every day, he plans the calories he needs for the next day. But it has been a dry fishing spell. He said he will go hunting and not work on the shelter. But Nathan is expending about 12,000 calories building his shelter. Each day he does not catch a fish, it will add up that he went too long without hunting. Nathan has lost 15 pounds since day 1. So it seems about all the participants are kind of losing the same kind of amount of weight, like 15 pounds since, and this is day 19. Okay, so everybody's kind of on track, or maybe they're all going downhill fast. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. He said he's trying to ambush a species. Approaching them is not possible. He says hunters know that sitting in a blind comes at a much greater cost than walking around all day. But sitting is best for him because he also loses less calories. Now I know what he means. When you're sitting in a blind, you're missing the opportunity to hunt elsewhere. And also, if you walk around, you may be spooking animals that you could have hunted. So it's a catch-22. So at 3:14 p.m., he said it's a long waiting game. Because remember, he started earlier at about 12:14. He said he's alone with his thoughts and thinking of his son. He's thinking about a time when he hunted with his son and they hunted a rabbit. And it turned out the rabbit was pregnant and it shocked his son. And his son said he didn't wish to be a hunter. Nathan said his fantasy of having his son go hunting with him ended right there. Then we see it's 4:33 p.m. Then we see 4:52 p.m. He said he had to pivot as a parent and appreciated the compassion his son had because hunting is not for everyone. I totally understand you, Nathan. At 5:07 p.m., nothing. He said he's going back home. He said he will night fish. At 9:11 p.m., he hiked to the far side of the lagoon, and he's pole fishing and he's hand fishing. I wonder if he still has that shrew he has and the scorpion. I wonder what's on his line, but that's just my curiosity. He said, 6.5 years, it's been 6.5 years, and he does miss his son Porter. He said his son fell and it harmed his brain, and it kind of damaged the self-discipline parts of his brain. He said later in life his son struggled with addiction, and his son did die of an overdose. He said as a parent, you question all your decisions that lead along this path, and it's a form of torture. He said he loved him the entire time, but he didn't know how to make the right decisions for his son. He said he understands a life lived is a beautiful thing, even if it's not for a long time. He said today is Porter's day, and he thinks of him. He said he's not feeling lonely, but happy and connected. And then he's like, wait a minute, I think my pole is snagged. And nope, y'all, it's a catfish. Nathan caught a catfish, and we're told it's nearly 4 feet long. The only issue I have, Nathan, is he didn't really hold it up to the camera, so I couldn't get a good picture. So y'all, I put a line in the fish, so you really knew how long the fish was. 4-foot catfish. Way to go, Nathan. Y'all, that was the end of the episode, but here's the previews. Katie said she will use the bow to see what's possible. But while she is away trying to hunt, y'all, baboons enter Katie's shelter. Nathan is finishing his stone shelter, and 2 sides of the wall falls. Now, we've seen that in the preview. Kelsey is tired meanwhile, but she said, hey, my legs are still working, and she sees warthogs in the distance. And that is the end of the episode and the previews. I hope you'll join me on the next one. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.